Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Tommy here from Saleslucky, and I want to share with you guys something that's been on my mind. So here, right now, it's Q4, it's December, and it's in the fourth quarter of our the company that I'm working for, and which means it's crunch time. It's time to bring in business. We've got our pipelines full, and we're looking to bring in as much business as possible. And with that, with high ticket sales, with quotas and big deals and pipelines, that comes with stress. And it's not something that's often talked about, but it is a real part of sales, and it is a real part of business and life. And I just want to share with you guys, a couple thoughts on this and ways that we can deal with this. I've been in roles where I've seen colleagues be incredibly stressed. I've had situations where it's been difficult to sleep sometimes because of impending deals or whatnot. I've gotten much better at this, just gotten used to this, but it is something that people go through. And if you're new in sales, and especially if you're in a closing role, understand that stress is part of the game. It's part of the process. It just comes with the territory. But recently I read something by Robert Kiyosaki that was really interesting to me. In the book, I think it was like Before You Quit Your Job, to be an entrepreneur. I forget the exact name, but it was something like that. It's a real good book. I recommend it. And in the book, he says, stress is the way that intelligence grows. Stress is the way that intelligence grows. And what that, and that was just enlightening for me. Like, it just completely shifted my view of stress. Stress is the way that intelligence grows. And I've come to realize that stress is part of the process. It's like going to the gym. You don't grow muscles and get stronger by not, putting pressure on. You put tons of pressure on. You put tons of stress on your muscles so they break down and they can rebuild again. It's kind of like the same thing as stress. It's part of the metamorphosis process. A good friend and internet marketer, Tuan V, has said, success is a metamorphosis process. It's who you are today and who you will become, because the goals that you want to achieve require a different type of person to achieve those goals. A person who's more disciplined, a person who's more driven, a person who's more who's got habits more dialed in, who's more skilled, all of that stuff, right? Who's more connected. So it requires a different person. So success is very much a metamorphosis process. If you're just starting out in sales and you want to make a multiple six-figure year income, well, the person that can do that is going to be a different person than the person who's starting out in sales, today. So, and it does require a metamorphosis process, and that process does entail lots of stress and pressure. It is just part of the game. There's a Bruce Lee quote where he says, I pray not for an easy life, but I pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. It's kind of the same idea. And the other thing is, I just want to touch on this very, very briefly, but it's a kind of a deep topic, is yin and yang. So it's like in North Pole and South Pole, two polar opposites. And this is true in everything in nature. North Pole, South Pole, masculine, feminine, hot, cold, whatever it might be, right? There's two opposite poles. And oftentimes we only see one thing, which is the success that people show, but we don't see the opposite pole, which is the stress and the pressure and all the stuff that they have to deal with, which is like the meme of the iceberg, right? The top is the success part, the bottom under the water is the stress. Well, that is true. And then finally, I'll just share a couple points that might help you guys deal with stress. One is deep breathing. Google deep breathing practices, belly breathing practices. I practice this every single morning when I wake up, and it helps change the way that you breathe normally day to day. And a teacher of mine once told me that if you can just change the way that you breathe, if you can breathe correctly, which is deep belly diaphragmatic breathing, again, you can Google that, it'll change everything in your life. And certainly with sales, it'll help you maintain calmness and be more aware, which is incredibly helpful, right? Second thing is meditation. Meditation is completely game-changing. I recommend you look it up as well and do some reading on that. It's completely changed my life, helped me be more aware of myself, and and also just be a lot more aware in general. And it's incredibly helpful in sales because it helps us be aware of our emotions, which allows us to control our emotions and direct them in an appropriate way possible. Incredibly important. And also just helps us be aware of the stress that's going on, so it doesn't take over, so we can kind of be aware of it. Because when you're aware of something, you kind of notice it. You're not being taken over or being run by it. Third thing is exercise. I mean, I won't go too deep into this. There's tons and tons of scientific research on how exercise relieves stress, releases endorphins and all that stuff. So definitely make sure that you're exercising, you're staying fit. It is going to help maintain and relieve the stress levels. And the fourth thing is just learn to acclimate. It is an metamorphosis process, as I kind of mentioned, and that does take. If you want to, get to a certain level, you want to get better, you want to get stronger, and at the end of the day, the stress is not going to go away if you're going to be in sales or if you want to be a high performer. So, what I've accepted for my life is just to acclimate, get used to it, because the high performers that I know, that's what they've done. They've acclimated to the stress, they've gotten used to it, adapted to it, they've just gotten stronger. They didn't ask for it to be easier, they just got better. So I hope you guys got value out of this. And if you guys did get value out of this, please do share this with a friend. I do put effort and intention into creating this content for you guys to help you guys and really make an impact. So if you guys can share this with one friend, if you've got value out of this, I would greatly appreciate that. And spread this movement here at Saleslucky, which we're about selling in the right way. We're about doing the right thing. We're about genuinely helping our clients, and we're against all that BS, lying, inauthentic stuff, super scripted stuff that doesn't work, is outdated, and just, unethical. I'm sure we've been in situations where we hear a sales rep, hang up the call, make a sale, turn around, and then, make fun of the customer, with his buddies or whatever, or lie to the customer to get a sale, or do something that's not moral, right? We've all kind of seen those situations or been on that end of that situation, and we're not about that here at Saleslucky. So we're about doing the right thing. We're about genuinely helping people, genuinely providing value, being authentic, and embracing diversity, because we know that different people come from different backgrounds. We all have different things to share, so we embrace that. Anyways, stay safe, guys. Keep crushing it. Finish off Q4 strong, and keep getting it, guys. All right, talk soon. Cheers.